Everybody knew me dad, you see. And I used to go on the back of his wagon on the holidays and that, when I was a kid. There was no money there. There was nothing, but I just loved the feeling. I used to go on my dad's lorry and he used to be sort of, yeah, lads, take these notes to the counter off at the bottom, because my half fella had his own business. He was always dodging the queues, you see. And he'd give me the notes and a couple of ciggies. He'd say, take that to the checker there. He'd come in the bottom gate and sneak up, you see, with his wagon. And I say, which one's that? And he'd say, oh, sweetie pie. Now, as you went up the shed, you'd see a fella, and he was about 6'2", and he had an enormous stomach on him, and like 10 to 2 feet, and he'd had all his teeth out, and if you could imagine, you'd say, that's sweetie pie, Yeah, that's sweet. I was in box 3, you see, and box 3 was nicknamed the Kremlin, because that was where all the trouble started from. Now, there's been allegations against this man, and just let me catch the alligators, I'm telling you, You had a sort of a turnstile where you came in and a door that you went out with the 2 rails running down the middle, the typical dock pen, box 3. The boss used to stand outside, Mr. Mac, and he was a great big fella, big portly man. And he used to wear the waistcoat and all that kind of thing and put the glasses on the end of his nose. And he'd have a little clerk standing by him, And the little clerk used to run everywhere after him. And we'd all stand outside the pen religiously until the stroke of 8 o'clock. Mac used to come out and look at his watch and he'd go, any of you men going to work? And they'd all be leaning against it, all crouching against the wall, reading the Daily Mirror and rolling rollies and all that, Golden Virginia. And I'd say, come on. And he'd give a nod to the clerk, and the clerk would rattle the bolt on the door and all that, And right on the spot of 8 o'clock, we all walked in. We always made a point of bumping into him like that as you walked in. Anyhow, when you got in, they locked the building, you see. If you were outside, you were FTA'd, weren't you? Failed to attend. You'd have to go up the big house, And you probably got a suspension. Anyhow, after you'd been hired, the clerk used to unlock the door. 6 men, west side, down below, on the Adelaide Star, Friday night, you'd all file out. Then he'd lock it again. Now, one time they were repairing that door, and it was all red lead and that, and different bits of wood in it, and they were still working on it, so that there was a plank missing at the bottom. So we're all there, we're all in the pen one morning, and this fella's hat comes under the door, and then his sarnies, and then the mirror. And everything in the pen stopped. We're all looking at us. And Mr. Mac himself come round, and he's like that, looking over the top of the bins at us. And then the fella's Mac come under, his overcoat. And then his feet start coming under like a limbo, And he's got about 3 fellas pushing him from the other side. And he's going, oh, hang on, here, take a leg on that. Now, go back, now, easy, now, steady as you go, like this, And it took him about a quarter of an hour to get through, and there wasn't a thing happening in the pen. They're all standing watching this fella coming through. And he finished up lying flat on his back, facing Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac standing over him. And Mr. Mac said, and what do you want? And he went, only the best. There was a lad in our set called Tommy Lackey, and they called him Big T. I think he was about 24 at the time. And he was about 5'3", fresh-faced. Didn't look as if he'd had a shave in his life. And he had 2 kids on the floor. We were working on fish meals, something horrible it was anyhow. We all said, oh yeah, here's what we'll do, lads. Bring our towels and cossies in tomorrow, and we'll all go to Burial Road. They always used to say Burial. We'll all go to Burial Road Bats. And we went, yeah, all right, yeah, all get Toby's up. And so we all brought our stuff in, and on the welts in the afternoon, we'd done an early dart. Then this teacher come in, a sports coat with leather patches in it and all that, And he come in with these gang of lads, and they were about 15, the school leavers or something. And they all got in, and they're all swimming in that. And then at one point, he blows a whistle, you see. About half of them get out. Well, this fella got a right moody on. He blew, and you could see the vein coming out in his head, like that. And they all stopped, and he went, when I blow this whistle, you do not continue swimming. You get out, you go to your lockers, you get changed, and form up in twos there. And then he blew the whistle like that, and as he did, Tommy Lackey dived in. So he said, "You, what's your name?" And he said, "Lackey, sir." He said, "See me when we get back to school." Yeah. Oh, it was there was some funny things went on there, you know. It's that cutting side of the humour, isn't it? I worked with a fella called Arnorma. He said, "Yeah, go and see Arnorma." I said, "Arnorma." And you realise without asking anyone that his daughter was a staff nurse or something, you know, and he was really proud of her. And everything you read in the paper, see the National, "Well, Arnorma said," and Arnorma this, and all, you know. There was some that you never even knew. There was a fella called MI5 in our pen, and he used to draw great big diagrams, like sort of circuits and that. He used to draw them on the shed door, and if you give him your hook, he'd polish it. Oh, you had a laugh a minute down there, you did. They had this sort of disrespect for authority, and they have their own way of laughing at that person, and they can really be cruel in their laughing at that person, but among themselves, to each other, it's good humoured.